All right, so the key with this position is building our frame first. I don't want to have a low shield. I'm going to open up my shield and let my foot float onto his hip, and I'm going to connect my elbow on top of my knee or my thigh. My hand is going to control his shoulder to keep his rotation from happening, and then my free hand is going to reach in and get his lapel. When I get his lapel, the goal is to get the first half of the cut and the skirt out. So I pull here, and I get the first half out. Once I'm here, I'm ready to kick to make some space. So I kick to make some space and sit through. My ear is gonna stay tight to his heart so I can listen as I reach through and make a grip, okay? Once I'm in this position, most of the time than not, he's gonna whizzer and push me back to the ground. And that's where we're gonna stop in this position with our shoulders stacked and our hips off to the side, making sure that I'm not in a position to be flattened out easily, okay? So if he is pushing into me, I'm just gonna continue to walk my shoulder away and keep my shoulders stacked. I'm gonna make a grip, and when I make this grip, I really wanna make sure I hook it and roll it. Okay, so it's really, really good for me to be able to pull and hard for him to sprawl out, okay? Once I'm here, what I wanna do is I'm gonna walk my leg up, okay? So almost like I'm inverted. I'm kind of pushing down on my foot that's in the half guard, and I'm throwing my left leg up. So here. And then now that I've rotated my hips, I'm gonna push the knee and slide my hand down towards his belt, Okay, I frame here to keep his hips open. I back up, and then back step. I'm always gonna push and come up and lift this elbow. Once we build our base, I get the lapel out, kick through. And again, we're dealing with someone that's really strong here. They have a heavy whizzer. They're forcing us on the ground. They might be even sprawling their legs back. Sprawl like your hips. Yes. So they might even be sprawling their hips back here, which makes it hard for us to come out for the side for like the single leg attack or coming to the dogfight position. So instead, since I'm kind of stuck here on the bottom with my legs, I'm gonna use my arms to reach in and start pulling myself more under him. As he tries to walk away, I want to cancel that by walking in. Now that I'm in and under him, I'm going to open up my left leg, getting my hips adjusted, and now I can just push as I come up. Back step my leg, knee him to the butt as I step high and behind his head. All right, so now we're going to use the variation. Okay, as I'm opening up here, get the lapel out, and then all the way. Again, he's got a heavy, heavy whizzer. He's sprawling his weight. This time he's sprawling, I can't even maybe make a grip onto his leg. So it makes it hard for me to get under his hips. So instead what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna base onto my outside foot as I escape my elbow under me. So I base onto my outside foot and escape my elbow under me and hook to this leg. If I can, I would make a grip. Most guys though, they have tight pants, so you're gonna have a hard time. So I'm just gonna cut here around his knee, and then we're gonna go through the same motion. I'm gonna walk up, hook the leg, slide my grip down, and then come to the top. Back step, step high behind the head. So here, we open up, kick through, he whizzers us back to the ground and sprawls heavy. So we're having a hard time making a grip to the pants. So instead, I'm gonna escape my hip up to get my arm back where I can hook behind his knee. From here, my left leg is gonna swivel up, and then I can scoop and pull him into me. Now I just push with my legs as I swing the grip low to his belt. Back step, knee to the back, step to the head. I'm gonna get the lapel out, and kick and sit up. Once he pushes me to the mat, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is he's sprawled back, he's got me down on the ground and he's heavy. So when I throw my leg up, I'm just gonna go all the way for the arm lock. I'm not gonna worry about rotating to the leg or anything like that. I'm gonna throw my weight up, bringing my right leg out of between his, as I make sure that my shoulder beats, or my knee, beats his shoulder to the mat. And then we're here in the arm lock position. So here, get the lapel out. When you invert, you want to make sure that you're not putting pressure on your head, but more transferring from one shoulder to another. So when I roll, I shouldn't be touching my head on the ground, and if my hair brushes the mat, that's one thing, but there shouldn't be weight pushing onto it. So as I rotate, I'm coming up, and I'm putting my weight from one shoulder to the other. So I throw my weight up with my left leg, and then put it from one shoulder to the other. So now we're going to use the underhook from the half guard, the lapel underhook, to get out from under him. So I'm going to kick up, make my space, come here. As he flattens me to the mat, I'm going to use my top leg to knee him just under his butt and on his thigh as I straighten out my bottom leg. Once I'm here, I'm on my toes. I want to make sure that I push my knees forward until I have my base. Post my foot, drive and tap the knee. So this time he's defending, he's pushing back, and we have almost the same position. My goal is to get his knee off the mat, so I'm gonna bump. As soon as I see his knee off the mat, this knee comes in and pinches. I'm just gonna reach and C-cup behind his knee as I roll through, then push the whole time. Step and come back to this position here at the end. And I'll usually take time to make this as tight as I can here. A lot of this is the same things that you guys would do using the lockdown to get to the dogfight position. So if you're familiar with that, apply the same things using the lapel. Knee him in the butt, straighten out my leg, post up. Now I bump him, he bumps back, so I'm going to pinch and roll. Posting to my foot at the end. This hand I'll go to the hip, so that way I can frame up and start collecting the arm for arm locks. All the way through, knee him in the butt, get our knees forward, drive, he gets his knee up and is pushing into me, so I'm going to collapse and kind of cradle here and roll, pushing into the knee, stepping and driving. This locks the shoulder, so I frame onto the hip, get my knee inside, and finish the armbar one of several ways. So once I get up and into this position here, or even here, we're getting into the dogfight position, for those that are familiar. And this position now is just a mirror image. Anything that I can do pretty much in the dogfight, I can do here. One of my favorite things to do is the powder keg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch my knee together as I base. I'm going to bring my left leg up, and then now I can just hook onto the shoulder and let go of the lapel. You can hold on to the lapel if you really want to, but I like to abandon it at this point and start collecting higher to his body. So I'm going to come here, slide my leg through, all the way to the triangle here. Once I have the triangle, pinch my thighs and stomp the foot. So right here, open up. Now this time as I go to try to get out from the bottom and get to the dogfight, when I go to switch my hips, the top player starts to cut his knee through or shin pass or something like that. And so we're stuck in this knee cut position or quarter guard. What I want to do is I want to make sure that I collect his heel with my top leg. So what I'll try to do a lot of times is kind of bump him here in the butt and then hook and get that instep with my heel. Okay? So one more time, that kind of looks like this. We're here, we're pinching. I'm going to just knee him forward to scoop the weight and collect it. Now that I have that foot, what I notice a lot of times is guys will start to immediately backstep. Whether he goes to control my head or not, it doesn't matter. If he does control my head, that's fine. He's going to rotate around and backstep. And usually start trying to work open my legs or make a grip or something like that. What I want to do first is I'm going to go 4 fingers up and make a grip onto the back part of his knee. I want to make sure that I protect my top leg, or the one that's between his, okay, from the knee bar. Because if I go here and cross my legs incorrectly, he's going to just hook. He's going to fall back for the knee bar. So instead, I always make sure that I'm protecting it until I'm ready to sweep. So I make my grip, wrap my wrist around my thigh, and keep my elbow tight to my hip. From here, I make sure that my legs are extended before I switch. So that way, if he does want to go for a knee bar, he's going to have to sit up and really chase it. And then as I'm there, I'll hook the instep, post my foot, and then bridge. I'm bridging off of one foot and lifting with the other. As I do, I'm pulling the grip and keeping it tight to me. Bridge, and then push. Stomp and base. This will usually not have the whizzer, so I'll usually go and try to finish with more of a back take solution here. Again, the lapel, half guard. He's smashing us down, starts the knee cut. So I want to make sure that I control the heel. If he backsteps without that heel control, it's going to be really easy for him to get his foot out and get out of here, just by having good footwork. So I make sure that as we're coming here, and don't be lazy with that. See, I hook that heel and that instep using my leg. From here, as he backsteps, I'm just going to rotate with him and pitch my knees. I want to make sure that I'm not late and extending my legs. I want to follow him up. I'm going to make my grip just onto the inside of his knee. And then protecting my leg against the knee bar, I'm going to kind of establish my grips and make this position as good as I can. Once I have everything as tight as I'll go, I'm going to extend my legs and find the back of his heel. Once I'm there, I'll let go, base as I lift, and push that grip the whole time as I step and get behind him. Once we're here, like I said, I'm usually going to more attack the back versus going for arm bars or something like that.